Vice President J.D. Vance is saying that the reason why housing in America is unaffordable is because of illegal and undocumented immigrants. Let's check it out.
I know that there are a lot of people out there, Sean, who are saying things are expensive. And we have to remember they're expensive because we inherited this terrible inflation crisis from the Biden administration. But you've already seen signs that things are getting better. The price of eggs has gone way down. The price of energy has gone way down. The price of gasoline has gone way down. And as we know, when the price of energy goes down, that starts to filter out into the entire economy, but that also takes a little bit of time. There's another component of this, Sean, which to me is maybe the most important because I care so much about our young people being able to afford a good life. A lot of young people are saying housing is way too expensive. Why is that? Because we flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants who were taking houses that ought by right go to American citizens. And at the same time, we weren't building enough new houses to begin with, even for the population that we had. So what we're doing is trying to make it easier to build houses, trying to make it easier to build factories and things like that so that people have good jobs.
I'm not going to lie. He's cooking on that one. Now, when it comes to politics, I'm not on the left or the right. I think that they're both full of shit and they are both wings on the same bird. But I'm also a real estate agent. And I will say that immigrants, people from other countries, are buying houses, especially before Trump's latest term. We're buying houses like crazy. The banks, they're part of the problem, right? You know, the banks want the money. But they were sending around what they call ITIN programs, where if you don't have a social security number, you have something called an ITIN number, you were eligible to buy a home. They were able to use down payment assistance. And there's a lot of moving parts to this, right? They tell Americans all over the internet the housing market is crashing. Meanwhile, undocumented and illegal immigrants are swooping in buying real estate. Okay, so as we all know, they'll get together as a family, multiple families. They'll be under one roof for however long they need to be. They'll split the mortgage. They'll split the down payment if they can't get down payment assistance. And they actually have like a pipeline. When you come over here, they'll help you get the ITIN, or they'll help you. You know, some of them have social security numbers. They'll help you get these things, build credit, help you get your documents together. File your tax returns. Which with tax returns, there are some, you can get access to more types of loans and down payment assistance if you have tax returns. But if you don't, the banks had routes for that, right? And they were able to take advantage of the market. And I told Americans, hey, you can do the same thing that they're doing, especially with this down payment assistance. And a lot of people really didn't get it. And this is what happens, or this is the outcome when you have education that is taken seriously and education that is spread for people to take advantage of, right? And Americans can take advantage of it too. A lot of Americans just choose not to. But they came over here again. I'm a real estate agent, so I saw this all the time. Like, as long as they either had a driver's license or ITIN number, the banks were letting them through, and the states were giving them down payment assistance. None. Just think about it. If you're a homeowner, were you ever asked, like, did you have to show proof, like a birth certificate, that you were born in the United States? No, they just want to see driver's license, pay stubs, bank statements, like just basic financial information, your tax returns, and they can get those things too and still buy a home. And it wasn't illegal. It's not illegal. It's just, as long as you have the paperwork in order, you can do so. And the same thing with down payment assistance. So, they have an entire plan. 3 or 4 families move in one house, split the mortgage. They all saving money. One family may get enough money and credit to move out and buy another house. They do the same thing. A different set of families, or, of course, they're probably all related. They come in, move into this home, and they're duplicating that process all around. While we're being told that the housing market is crashing, don't buy homes, or, why buy a home when you can rent? Or, and that's totally fine. But they're like secretly building wealth by buying up all of the properties, using down payment assistance. A lot of this assistance is forgivable. You don't have to pay it back. And they're building wealth secretly while the American mind is being brainwashed and we're being kept away from this thing. So, somewhere along the lines, there is or was some sort of campaign for this to become bigger than what we think it is, if that makes sense. There, there's some kind of psyop or whatever to keep Americans dumb while this happens, while they come in and buy up all the real estate. Because right now, who's buying up all the real estate? You have the cash buyers, you have like BlackRock, Blackstone, those larger companies, and then you have immigrants. They're the ones buying a lot of the real estate right now in a lot of these cities and some of these rural areas too, because again, they have a pipeline, they have a process. Like when you get over there, the first thing you need to do is buy a house, rent for a year, stack your money. We got somebody you can stay with. We're going to help you get the ITIN, your credit, get all these things in order. We're going to get you a job, and just think about it, right? They don't have any debt. So when you buy a home, you have to go through the whole, debt to income ratio on that and all that stuff. They don't have any debt. Most of these people, their first piece of debt will be like a very small credit card, and then they're buying a house. Like versus most Americans' first debt is like a whole bunch of credit cards, personal loans, car loans, stuff like that. They skipping all of that stuff. They're skipping all of that stuff and going straight to owning real estate. So when it comes to this, he's definitely cooking, and he's right. They didn't build enough homes. That happened during COVID. I think that was a plan. It was actually a real plan. Like, hey, let's slow down the amount of homes we're building so we can charge more to, sell the homes that everybody's competing for. Okay, so it's unfortunate, how a lot of these things play out, but yeah, he's definitely cooking. And again, it all depends on how you look at it. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? But it's definitely not illegal for them to do it. Again, you probably should take advantage of it too. And that's just real.